Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening to those of you that have joined today. It's a great pleasure again to provide another IRIS certification webinar. We're quite happy to have received over 600 registrations today. Just before we start, I kindly invite you again to scan the below QR code or join us at menti.com with entering the following code 68940207 to ask any questions you may have in general or questions on the specific webinar. We'll have a dedicated session towards the end of the webinar to answer all the questions you may raise. The QR code and the Menti website with the Menti code will be displayed on every single page. In case you forget to do so, you can log in and scan the code to ask your questions whenever you want. So today's webinar will be on the following topic: IRIS certification webinar on the IRIS revision 4 survey findings. We will not only focus on the findings on the most recent IRIS revision 4 system survey, but we will also give you a welcome and introduction by the IRIS General Manager, and we will focus on some key aspects on the certification scheme, which are the respective company master data and the RQMS changes. We believe those are quite some important things that we need to explain to you and to re-explain those important topics. After that, we will focus on the findings of the survey, and then, as promised before, we will go into a detailed and specific question and answer session. So as you see here, as promised, on the top right-hand side and on the bottom right-hand side, we have both the website of menti.com. We provide you the code and or the QR code to scan and provide your questions. I urge you to ask as many questions as you want. You have a dedicated and specific timing for us providing you all the respective answers. So with that being said, I would like to announce the first speaker, Mr. Rashid Ibra, IRIS General Manager. The floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anish. So good morning and good afternoon, everyone. So once again, I'm very delighted today to participate to this webinar. So the summer break is coming soon, and we hope that this webinar will be very fruitful and interesting for you guys. I will give you a kind of, I will say, information and what it's coming up for the next semester of 2025. So first of all, as you know, we are, I would say, pretty active in terms of promotion of IRIS. This is a very important aspect for us. And you will have the opportunities to meet us at different trade fair events that are very well known and worldwide, I would say, present. So first, we have the upcoming one in September in Berlin, the Dutch Bahn Railway Forum. So this will be a very important one for IMC, as we know that we have many clients and companies and partners also in Germany. Another one will be in Milan, in Italy. So you will have also to meet some of our IMC members. Very important one also for us is in India, in New Delhi. So it will be the first time that IMC is participating to this one. So we are really looking forward to it. And also to continue the collaboration with all our Spanish partners and companies. We will also attend the Real Life event in Madrid. Another very important aspect for us, as you might know, we are doing quite a lot of control activities. So this is really important for us to ensure the integrity of the audits and the auditors. So we have launched already the office audit campaign. So this is pretty important for us to ensure that the certification bodies are, I would say, working according to our rules. So this is also a very important activities that we are going to do on the upcoming months. Another very important aspect, so I think we are communicating quite a lot also on those ones because it's a very important topic for all the end user. So the IT aspect and environment, like the audit tool, something very crucial for your activities related to IRIS. So you might not see it every time, but we are doing quite a lot of, I would say, improvement in terms of IT project. So we have a solid roadmap together with Anish to develop many new functionalities that will help even the end user or the treatment of the data from IMC side. Another very important aspect, and I think we'll discuss largely about that later on, as you know, we have launched beginning of the year the survey regarding the IRIS system. So we have captured already quite a lot of information. So we'll give you the details later on. But based on that, it's pretty important for us to consolidate all the feedbacks that we have received, and also to use it, I would say, on the best way possible. So for that, we are going to organize a couple of workshops. So the first one is already scheduled end of September to work on the few items, comments, remarks that have been raised by the 700 companies that have responded so far. So this is a very important point for us in order to make, I would say, some adjustment or improvement based on your feedback. So this is something extremely essential for us. Of course, we'll continue this very great exercise of webinars. So we have made already several webinars so far. We are going to have more also webinars in the upcoming semester. So we'll have one in October and one in December. So the date will be communicated later on. But we'll continue to keep in touch with you through this format, which is, I think, pretty interesting, as you can also review it whenever you want, especially on YouTube, and stay tuned with the different information from IMC. So as you can see, we have quite a packed agenda for the next few months and to reach the end of 2025. And I hope with your support, comments, feedback, etc., we will achieve it successfully. So thank you, and we'll talk later on. Julian, I will leave you the floor to introduce the few topics that you are going to explain today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the introduction. This is Xiulan Shi from IMC, the witness auditor, calibration auditor. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for everybody. I did the witness and calibration audit and review the update certificate request during the transition phase. Would like to provide some return of experience on some topics to smooth the IRIS certification process. The first topic is about company master data. For the company master data, there are provide a lot of inputs for the IRIS certification process, the business categories, certification activities, remote function site extensions, project type and product descriptions. All those data may evolve in the audit cycle. So it shall be maintained annually by the organization, and it shall be confirmed 90 days before each audit. The CB shall confirm the data during the planning phase. This information will be carried to the audit tool web. The auditor shall review and perform assessment using this data as input. I would like to share some clarifications with you for some aspects. The first one about business category. The business category selection linked with the product scope also. For example, the maintenance moved from certification activities to business type in the revision 4. Now I have a question to you. If the company only perform maintenance of HVAC for the passenger train, which category you will select? Yes, it's maintenance only. If the company manufacture new HVAC and maintenance HVAC also, then you select rolling stock and maintenance, both business categories. And for the certification activities applicability, the principle is the same with the 5 key processes for the performance evaluation. The project management and the requirement management are always applicable. The other three processes depending on the situation. And the remote function site extension, sometimes the company add a new site extension or remove another remote function during the audit cycle. If you remove the sites, then the RQMS change impacted. You upload in the data package about the change impact. Also, the master data in portal shall remove or add the same sites in parallel. Otherwise, the information in the certificate will not be modified. For the project type, you have three types, A, B, and C, to select. If the company have more than one types, the most complex type of the project shall be chosen. And the audit tool will adapt to the selected type. This will be reflected in the audit report. For the product description, the product names are expected to fill in. See below, there is a chat, describe your products for the real sector. The suggestion is a very general description shall be avoided. For example, the below said real transit vehicle accessories. Then the information, what kind of accessory is the component, is electronic or electrical or is mechanical, there is no clue. So the recommendation is to use the IRIS revision for product scope guideline. This guideline now is in revision 2. It is available in the download area of the IRIS portal. And product description will show finally in the IRIS certificate. If errors are found during the audit, the LA shall ask the organization contact person to correct it. Then the lead auditor shall refresh the tool. If not, the web tool will not automatically refresh or modify the corrected information. If the errors of the master data are not detected until the audit finish, then the IT support is necessary to correct the issue. A lot of administrative work will be needed. Then the IRIS certificate will be delayed consequently. So it's very important to maintain the data and make sure it's correct. Next slide, please. Now for the total number of employees in the company master data. Please see the picture. The first line is for the railway plus non-railway business, is the total number of employees, not only the railway related. Then the second line is the railway related number of employees, the number including main site and remote functions, site extensions. It is the input of the IRIS audit mandate calculation. Please take care. The second line is not only the main site. The presented picture is a bad example. In this example, the main site has 150 employees and the site extension has 10 people. The total number shall be 160. So it shall be corrected before the audit. Okay, next slide. The next topic is for RQMS change related. Next slide. Yes. An organization can evolve during an audit cycle with an impact on its RQMS change. The company shall use the RQMS change template to evaluate the impact on RQMS and upload the filled-in template in the data package. The template is available in the IRIS portal download area. Next slide. Thank you. The template identified 8 kinds of changes which may impact RQMS. Each change identifies several sub-items. All the sub-items shall be evaluated. Some of the changes will impact the IRIS certificate information. For example, change of the main site location, change of certification activities, but some of them may not impact the certification data. However, it will impact the audit plan and the audit focus. For example, the sub-item 5.3 is changes in organizational chart or changes of the operational structuring, such as new business unit or business model decentralized, or the responsibility of functions reallocated, and so on and so forth. So for those kind of changes, the upcoming audit shall cover the changes to ensure the RQMS is still conforming to the standard and the certificate can be maintained. If the company didn't provide such changes in the data package, the lead auditor may not aware about the changes. Therefore, the changes not well assessed or covered, it will impact the credibility of the certificate. Next slide, please. Now, let's talk about the criteria of the change impact. If the change impacts the product quality and safety, or it impacts the customer satisfaction, or it impacts the first interested parties, then we consider its major impact. The value shall be selected 5. If the impact is organizational or documentation, then it's minor. The value is 2. If no impact on the RQMS or not applicable, is 0. There is a second sheet in the template defined how to use this template. When one change impacts 2 or more sub-items, for example, if the layout, the main site change location, then the production layout change, maybe the infrastructure change, that's possible to evaluate several times. It means the risk evaluation apply more times. Then the respective score will be accumulated. If the total score equal or more than 10, then recertification audit days shall apply. In addition, additional readiness review days, 0.5 day or 1 day, according to the table 7 defined in the performance assessment 2023 applies. If the total score is less than 10, however, additional readiness review time will be added, minimum 0.5 day. All lines shall be filled up and with justification or evidences. Most importantly, the company shall fill in the RQMS change template and upload it in the data package. It's not the lead auditor fill in. Then the lead auditor shall download from the portal and challenge the assessment and validate the value selected by the company during the readiness review. And the audit plan shall reflect the change focus. That's the focus. Thank you. And I will pass the time to Anish Bava.
Thank you very much, Rashid, and thank you very much, Shulwan, for the very detailed insights on those respective topics. Now we're going to introduce to you the main part of this webinar, which is the deep dive, insight, and statistical overview of the findings of the Revision 4 system survey. So on the next slide, just to go into some theory first, before we go into the data, let's say, the main aim, as Rashid explained earlier, of this survey was and is to collect feedback on the IRIS Revision 4 system from the respective certified companies on various subjects. So we've just started in March this year, and so far the scope is only towards the companies. And what we will do soon is also extend this to auditors. So far, only 706 companies have completed the survey. So what does this mean? It means that the IRIS Revision 4 system survey is not mandatory, but it's highly recommended to be filled in order to get your voice heard. And it's to be filled in only upon successful completion of an audit, including the closure of corrective actions. So that's the only time when you are able to receive the trigger and the ability to fulfill and complete the survey. One question you may ask is, how do I receive the survey? Once you successfully complete an audit, the contact person of the IRIS portal site will get an email from the system asking you to complete the IRIS Revision 4 system survey and the auditor evaluation sheet. And you will get continuous reminders thereof. So what is the main aim and goal of this survey? Well, we believe that this feedback and the data we receive thereof is quintessential to foster continuous improvement within the IRIS certification revision 4 system. So the survey specifically includes 20 questions segregated into 11 topics, and those 11 topics are categorized into 6 major categories. So the first category is the IRIS performance assessment. The second is IRIS technology. The third is market recognition and perception. The fourth is procurement and certification preferences, followed by the fifth category, which is about the simplified assessment. And last but not least, quite important, we have some open questions about continuous improvements, and we will dive into this in a bit. Just I wanted to say before going to the next slide, the results, the data are generally positive. So this is quite a nice news, and we will go into the details soon. However, in the open questions, we have quite a few valid comments for improvements. So this is really a platform for you companies to provide us the feedback in order for us to review, analyze, and potentially implement continuous improvement over the respective topics. So on the next slide, we'll just dive a bit into the different contents. So the first part of the survey we talk about, and I'm on the left-hand side of my screen, I talk about the introduction. We ask you some generic questions about the performance assessment, the rules, if you've read them and what you think about them. Then we move on to the comparison of the two revisions from 3 to 4 and what you think about that. Then we dive into the revision 4 complexity. So we ask you to provide information on how you perceive the revision 4, where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, where you think we've provided simplifications, improvements, but also areas to improve. After that, we go into the IRIS technology. We ask you to evaluate the technological products, the portal, the audit tool, the support team. After that, we really go into the market recognition. This is quite important, and you will see later when Rashid shows you the results on that topic. But here we really see how we ask you to tell us how the railway industry really perceives IRIS certification. Moving forward, linked to that, we go into the procurement preferences. So we've asked you specific questions on how you believe IRIS certification, specifically the QPL in silver and gold, impact you on this. Then we go into the simplified IRIS. We will go into questions about that. Interestingly, we then move on to improvement suggestions. So as I said, we've got 3 or 4 open questions where you can or where you have already provided 800 plus character feedbacks on some topics, which is quite interesting. And I urge you, if you have not filled it in already, to provide as much information as possible. Then we go into loyalty and preferences on IRIS certification, one of the most important questions in the survey, and there's some nice data backing that up. And last but not least, we ask you how you perceive the B2B relations with your certification body and the commercial teams, and also how you perceive the interactions between yourself and the auditors. So this is also showcasing some nice data. And last but not least, we go into communication processes, because we don't just want to improve the IRIS certification scheme, but also how we communicate with you. So here it's quite interestingly, you will see, I think I give you a hint, you still like emails quite a lot, so we will proceed with that. Just before we go into the next slide, I will kindly invite Rashid to the floor as well, who will be presenting this with me. And just so you know, audience, what we will do is we will now go through those 6 different categories. We will explain you the respective questions linked to the category and the results thereof. So I kindly invite Rashid to introduce the first category, which is the IRIS performance assessment. Rashid, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Anish, for giving all the details about the setup of this survey. So I will not come back to it, but really this is an exercise very important for us, and myself also being new in the IMC. It was pretty important to understand what is the real feedback from people and from the end user. So that's why we are really insisting, as Anish already did, to invite you to fill in the survey. We are taking it very seriously, because for us it's really very key inputs that we are going to use in the next couple of weeks. Indeed, in terms of performance assessment, it was pretty important for us to understand, considering the few changes that, let's say, happened over the past 1 year. So we ask you 3 different questions. First one was about the second edition. So have you had the opportunity to review the second edition of the IRIS performance assessment? For us, it was pretty important again, because we have made some significant changes or clarification also in the performance assessment. And it was really important for us that you also following the latest rules and clarification. Otherwise, we can have a kind of mismatch during audits or even during office audits with the certification bodies. So we were very focused on that to understand how many companies knows now the rules and the latest revision. So it was pretty important. So the last revision is from the beginning of January, and again, it's extremely important to have it. So fortunately for us, I would say we have received quite a lot of positive feedback. So almost 80% of the companies are, I would say, aware of the new rules. So it's a good point for us. So it means that we are all on the same pages now, and we are talking the same language, which is also something essential for us. Another very important aspect, and I think you understand this point, is also how you have perceived the change between the previous revision and the revision 4. So comparing the revision 3 and 4, it was also very, I would say, crucial for us to understand that, to make sure that we are not adding any, I would say, complexities, and that the changes are also meeting the railway industry needs, and still practical. So that was also very important for us. So here I will say that the results are, I will say, pretty split between simple and complex. So I think here the feedback that we have also received by writing were also self-explanatory. So again, we really invite you for the free text area in terms of improvement to populate it. So it's exactly where we are, I would say, extracting the inputs for our upcoming workshops. So here, I think we have to understand the difference between the revision 3 and 4, and how finally maybe things did not work well, or something that we can still improve. Uh, the other topic and questions about the same section was about the complexity. Again, here we can see that the trend is pretty neutral, unfortunately, and considering the feedback that we have received, I would say that potentially the revision 4 is perceived a bit more complex, or maybe the complete system as well. So this, we heard it. We have also received this feedback from auditors, from certification body. So we are clearly going to work on it. So we hope that the future, let's say, outcome of the different workshop based on your feedback will be successful, and will help you to manage, I would say, more easily the IRIS audit and IRIS certification. Anish, for the next topic.
Thank you very much, Rashid. So in fact, the next topic, we asked 3 questions. These concern the IRIS technological system. The first one revolved around the user's assessment and of the respective user experience and effectiveness of the IRIS portal. So don't forget, the IRIS portal is where companies fulfill the master data, which is in revision 4 much more important than before, as Shilwan just explained, and as we've explained in the last webinars too. And it's also, the portal is used for the planning of the audit, the uploading of the audit reports, the showcasing of the QPL, the certificate, and so on. So quite an important tool for the scheme. And here you see just around 50% have deemed it as satisfied. And as Rashid said before, unfortunately, quite a lot of people have said that they are neutral on the topic. So we have a small delta of 10% that have been dissatisfied. So this is the name of the game, and as you see in the first bullet point, we are making still improvements. You will see one line in our IT roadmap, which is always called continuous improvement, and we are always analyzing different quick wins, better ways to make more processes efficient, and so on. So here we hope to improve this even further than we are today. The second question revolves around the functionality and usefulness of the audit tool. So this, just to remind, is the audit tool to conduct the IRIS certification audit. For auditors, it is mandatory to be used to conduct the IRIS certification audits. For auditors, it is for companies, it is highly recommended to be purchased. And if you do not yet have the IRIS audit tool as a company, I could only recommend you to visit the IRIS portal shop and purchase the IRIS audit tool for companies. You will get a software as a service approach license for 5 years, and this will really help you as a company to organize and commit to your internal audits. And if you do your internal audits with the IRIS audit tool, you will be able to receive automated reporting. It's very almost similar and identical to those from the real audit, and you will very easily be able to see the weaknesses, your corrective actions, and improvement actions. So all I can say is purchase the IRIS audit tool if you don't have it, to conduct efficient gap analysis and preparation before your IRIS certification audits. But for those that have it, you can see just under 50% have deemed it satisfied, and compared to the other question, less than 8% or so still think there's some improvement to do. So we understand that, and we've taken all the feedback, and we're continuously improving it. And just so you know, we're also improving the IRIS audit tool for specifically for companies. The last question on the IRIS certification technology revolves around the support team. It's the third pillar of the technological system. The support team, just to explain, is the team of mine that responds to all of your questions, queries, tickets, issues, and so on. And here we see that there is the same trend, around 45-46% of satisfaction. And here again, quite a high neutrality, and below 7% dissatisfaction. So what I can tell you is we're improving the technological systems in means of improving the IRIS portal continuously, as well as the IRIS audit tool. What we've done 1 month ago is with our IT provider upgraded the ticketing process with new KPIs, with new criticality and business impact matrices, so the IRIS support team can even more efficiently resolve and take your tickets in the shortest time possible. So then on the next slide, I will introduce Rashid again to speak about the next topic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anish. So yes, the other chapter is pretty interesting. So here we have, I would say, raised some questions about market recognition and perception, which are mainly related to the quality performance level, as you might know already now. So first question was about the recognition of QPL, and if the QPL were somehow helping you as a company to get new potential client or new potential project. So this was pretty interesting for us to know, because having a QPL is really on top of the IRIS certificate, a kind of a pillar of our scheme, and a clear differentiator. And we can see that the answer that we have received was, I would say, positively surprising, and that the QPL looks at least to help the companies to get more business. At the end of the day, that's all we want to do for the different companies and stakeholders working with IRIS. So we are pretty satisfied with that. Actually, it's a very good result. So we hope that the QPL will be more and more recognized, especially for bronze, silver, and gold level. The other question was also about the quality, and if the QPL owner or let's say receiver get a better quality with the QPL. So it seems that it's also a very good results on that. So it's also giving, I would say, trust and confidence about the product and services released by companies having, let's say, a certain level of QPL. So it's also a very good one for us. So it really demonstrates that, let's say, customers believe on the QPL. So it's an extremely good signal, I would say, for the QPL. The last question was about the transparency level of performance expected from the silver and gold. Once again, the result is similar to the previous questions, but it's also quite positive. So we are really believing on the transparency and the high level of performance that those companies are delivering. So it's a very good, I would say, outcome for the QPL. So we know, unfortunately, last year the QPL was, I would say, a bit criticized, mainly because of, let's say, the time of the release of the publication. So now the situation is much better, thanks to the effort of the whole IMC. Actually, we have the current target, as you might know, to release the QPL within 1 month after the end of the audit. So today I'm pretty glad to tell you that we are in average much below than 1 month. We are in average around 2 weeks to release the QPL. So we hope that making it on time also will help you to make this the QPL a strong differentiator and to get more business for your companies. Last but not least, we, as I mentioned before, we are also making a lot of IT development and project, and one of it is also based on the feedback that we have received was also to improve the visibility of the QPL. So you will be able to see some slight changes into our portal. So this is something ongoing that will be released after the summer break, and it will be more easier for you to I would say search for a QPL level and see the current status of each and every company that you would like to search. So it's also a very important point for us to advertise and to make it also visible through our portal. So once again, thank you for those good feedbacks about QPL. And now we'll jump to the procurement and certification preferences, which are also a bit related. So for this specific section, actually, we have asked two questions. Would you consider a supplier having IRIS certification a decisive factor in your procurement decision? So the answer is also very good, I would say, and pretty positive. So we have roughly 50% of positive feedback, also a bit of neutral, so we'll have to take it also with carefulness here. But it's pretty good. So it means that having also an IRIS and potentially a QPL give quite a lot of, I would say, confidence and trust for future partnering and also working with some companies. So this is also pretty good, and we really see it as a key criteria also to offer and I would say make some business with companies. So it's pretty good. So we hope that the procurement, I would say, people from the different decision makers, customer, etc., will continue to support also IRIS and take it as a key element also for their supplier selection. So that's also an important target that we have. The second question was about the, I will say, the mandatory aspect of IRIS. So I'm pretty sure that you know that this topic has been raised multiple times since IRIS exists. So it's a very long lasting topic to make it mandatory. So actually we have quite a lot of intensive discussion with our IRIS steering committee about that. It's a difficult move. We'll not say that it's something that will be easily achievable, but this is something that we have to, I would say, push as much as we can, especially for material which are pretty critical for rolling stock, signaling, infrastructure, and all the other domains. So it's a important and huge topic, I would say. We hope that on this one we'll make maybe one day mandatory. So it's a sensitive topic, but it will be extremely interesting for the development of the scheme and also for the whole robustness of the supply chain and for all companies involved on the railway business. So we hope also for the, let's say, companies that did not yet answer the survey, if you have any kind of, I would say, improvement ideas on how to make it mandatory, we are also very keen to receive your feedback on this topic on the free text area of the survey. So don't hesitate to support us and find some ideas to push the decision maker customer to make it mandatory. Yeah. So next topic is also very important. I will let Anish to explaining. This is related to the simplified IRIS.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Rashid. And just before, to quickly add on to what you said, in fact, the survey you will be able to answer every year. So that means if your feedback changes or if you wish to create a new feedback for us, you will have the opportunity next year. And obviously, if you want to provide us feedback before your next audit, then you can always send us an email at info-irisrail.org, and we will take it from there. So just to remind you on that. So indeed, Rashid, as you said, we've also had some dedicated questions regarding the simplified IRIS. As you know, we introduced the simplified assessment in the IRIS Revision 4 scheme, and we had two dedicated questions thereof. The first is blatantly asking the user, the certified company, if they are knowing that there is a new scheme. And the good news is that 80% of the certified companies know that there is a simplified assessment scheme within IRIS. However, we still see there's a 12% gap where those 12% of the companies that have submitted the survey do not know of the simplified assessment. So we have to work a little bit in the visibility, but it's quite important to note that the simplified iris is generally well known within the industry. So the second question, following the first one on the simplified assessment, asks about the eligibility, blatantly asking, if you are eligible, would you be interested to become an IRIS simplified company? And the good news is that 15% disagree, because in fact what's very important to note, and here we stand by the following fact, that the simplified assessment shall be used as a stepping stone into IRIS. And specifically a stepping stone into the full assessment. So we believe that with these reduced barriers to entry within the simplified assessment, we will allow companies to step into IRIS and one day achieve the full assessment, because to be honest, that's the real goal. As you know, the full assessment, you were able to achieve the QPLs, and you're not in the simplified. So what we have done to, as you probably have noticed, to increase the visibility, is we've created a dedicated white paper, and we've massively and largely communicated these benefits. And we will take this point, because this point is linked to a lot of the open feedback that we've received. We will take this in the upcoming months and weeks in the workshops to further simplify or to further clarify the simplified assessment in order to obtain the most benefits for you. So on the next slide, we will then continue with the continuous improvement. And here I'll give the floor to Rashid to explain the first slide. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you, Anish. So indeed, continuous improvement is a very serious topic for us. Again, this is also a part of the, let's say, DNA of IRIS, and also part of all of our activities, I mean, in the railway industry especially. So for us, it's also applicable. So we were also asking about the recognition of IRIS, and to ensure, or at least confirm, that it's still the leading and most effective quality system certification scheme. It seems that the results are extremely positive. So we are extremely delighted about the results. So it's pretty good. Again, I think with the strong worldwide positioning of IRIS, it really helps. I think it's a key element to speak with the same language about quality, level of requirement, ensuring that the product are delivered as per the best processes. So it's a very good feedback for us. So I think a lot of work have been done. We still have to do a lot of things to ensure that IRIS remain the most recognized quality management system in our business. It's also pretty important for us to have this kind of positioning, because more IRIS companies will means that we'll have a stronger scheme. Having more, I would say, companies involved will help us also to get potential improvement ideas, items to be included into the scheme, to the assessment sheet, etc. So here I see a really possibility, a lot of possibilities actually to capture many ideas by keeping this high level positioning in our business. So the other point I think Anish touched base about that was also about continuous improvement, and also in terms of communication and, let's say, relationship that we have between us, even though we are not always connected together. But I think from the IRIS Management Center, it's also pretty important for us, and myself personally, to stay connected with all the stakeholders and users of IRIS. And it was pretty important to know what are finally the kind of channels that you want us to develop even further. So with a bit of surprise, actually, it seems that the emails seems to be the preferred channel. So we have made a couple of let's say publication this year about few topics, certificate, new rules, etc. So I think we'll re-insist on that, maybe on some specific topic and clarification also that we can do. I would say along the year, we can probably also communicate a bit more on by email. So we'll take into consideration this point. It seems that at the second place, the webinars are also very well welcome. So I'm pretty happy about that and hope that this one also gives you all the expected satisfaction. But of course, we'll continue, as I mentioned earlier, with the few next webinars. And we always try actually to find some interesting topics and also topics which are, I would say, related to your issues or recommendation to develop it and also to prepare and propose the webinars to keep you posted about all the activities of IMC and IRIS. So about continuous improvement, we'll continue also with few questions that Anish also will develop. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rashid. So just to finalize, as we introduced 30 minutes ago, we have a question regarding the audit team and a question regarding the certification body, because we don't just want to continuously improve continuously improving the certification scheme includes also the interactions between the IRIS Management Center and the certification bodies, because the certification bodies also play a major role in the scheme. So here we've asked how you perceive the auditor team performance and how you perceive the certification body team performance in terms of the commercial team, the administrative team, planning teams, and so on. And with no surprise at all, we're glad to state that those 706 people who have fulfilled the survey, we see an 80% satisfaction rate. So that's quite good, I must say. Of course, there is between 2 and 5% dissatisfaction. We will work on that. We will see what the improvements could be, and of course, there's been a few neutral entries as an input. So now talking about on-time delivery, we are almost complete with the webinar today. We're on time for 10 minutes of questions and answers. So just to remind you, before I ask the speakers to come onto the main screen, Rashid, you're already there, thank you. And before that, I kindly ask you if you want, because I've only seen 5 questions so far, so if you want, please join us at Menti or join us at Menti via the QR code on the bottom right-hand side to ask all your questions you may have, and they will be answered in due time. So the first question, in order of appearance, comes to Shilwan. So Shilwan, the first question is, can you better clarify how we have to complete the number of employees area? So first, please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Very much. It's a very good question. To clarify this, I would like to give you an example. For example, we have a site extension, painting, 20 people. We have a design center, remote function in another city, 80 people. All railway related. Then we have a main site, 200 people. So how many people total railway related then? In the second line, you will see 200 plus 80 plus 20 is 300. Then you have a non-railway business related, 300. So total employees, the first line will be the 300 non-railway employees and the 300 regulated, total 600. So the 4 line will be like this. I hope it's clear now.
Very clear, at least for me, Shilwan. Thank you very much. And the second question is also for you, and then there's one more after that. RQMS changes. Shall this form be completed and uploaded in the IRIS portal, even if there are no changes?
Okay. Actually, this is a good question because I see different approaches. In our portal, this upload is not mandatory, but I still see some companies, they uploaded saying no change. That's also good. It's a good approach to avoid you miss something. So if you have change or not, if you upload the template with some values to clarify, it's also recommended, but it's not mandatory. It's optional. Yeah, is it clear? I think.
Very clear. Very clear. Thank you very much. And the third question and last question for you, unless there are some more later, I will refresh the Menti at the end. If there is an update in address and it has not been identified before the issuance on the certificate, can the certificate be reissued?
Yes, as I mentioned, but there is a lot of administrative works to do. You need to submit, change the address to the IT support. Then you have to modify the master data, you refresh the report, you generate the report, and ask the IT re-upload to the portal of the report. Then you have to submit the certificate change request. It's a lot of time and a lot of energy to manage it. So the recommendation is really to make sure the master data is correct before the finalize the report.
Perfect, Shilwan. And just to add up on that, if this happens, once the certificate has been generated, there will be a update of certificate fee. Okay, and this is to cover, this fee is there to cover these changes. Okay, so then there is one, thank you very much, Shilwan, for all the 3 questions answering. And there's one question for me, how many members took part in the survey? So in fact, 706 as per, and I open my calendar, as per the 7th of July. So each week we get more or less 25 or so more surveys. So I kindly ask you to fill them in. Of course, if you have any question or comment, concern, or if you want to know if someone from your organization has answered the survey, don't hesitate to contact our generic mailbox and we will help you with your query. Then the last question, if I'm not mistaken, is for Rashid. I'm just trying to decipher it. So in fact, the question is about doing the survey every year and what the contents entail about that. I let Rashid give some more insight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Anish. It's actually a very good question. So for me, it's pretty important, as I mentioned earlier, to stay connected with the company and again the end user of Iris. So I will really like to I will say have this exercise of having a survey on a yearly basis. It really helps us to stay connected with you and also to be let's say updating on everything that happened also in the railway business. So yes, most probably it will be on a yearly basis. So this one, as it was quite a long time that survey has been released, it was quite an exhaustive one with 20 questions. So probably that next year we'll have much less questions, probably around 10. I think that will be quite interesting. And also easy also for us to interpret. So yeah, that's a very good question, and I think I can already answer positively. We will do it on a yearly basis with maybe a bit less of question and a bit lighter. So, but the overall target will be always the same, to capture your feedback, which will help us to improve further. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rashid. I think that's crystal clear. And not to mention, if just to remind, if there are some auditors in the webinar today, which I know they are, I've seen the list, you and your CBs will also receive an iteration of that survey. Obviously, you will not receive the questions that are really dedicated towards a company. So we have 1 minute. I go for the last question. I've just refreshed it, so I don't know who asked it, but good question. In which category would clocks fall under in IRIS certification?
For the category, I believe this question asks the category, a business category. To answer this question, you need to know how the clock linked with the business. If it's used in the rolling stock to count how, the time of the control, then it's rolling stock. If it belongs to signaling system connected, then it's signaling. It's more because clock can be general component used in different business. It links with what is your scenarios, the environment of the clock works. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Let's go to the last and final slide today. On-time delivery once again at 12 o'clock. We are right on time. Thank you very much for joining. Please follow us on the left-hand side on LinkedIn if you have the possibility. We would appreciate all likes, follows, and reposts. Don't hesitate to contact and most importantly, tag IRIS certification in your LinkedIn post. We will gladly and with pleasure, unbiased, we will repost everyone who tags IRIS certification in order to boost the visibility. And just before I give the floor to Rashid, please, you can already register for the next webinar that will take place in a few months by scanning the following QR code. So that's it from my side. I wish you a very nice summer holidays, and thank you very much for joining the webinar. Please, Rashid, the last few words for you.
Yeah, thank you, Anish. Thank you, Julian, also for your participation and contribution today. We hope that for all the listeners today, it was interesting and insightful. So once again, I will just insist on one point. Please, if you haven't yet responded to the survey, please do so. Again, it's really crucial for us. And then I will just wish you also a very nice summer break, if you have the chance to take some break, of course, and see you very soon for the next webinar. Thank you once again, and we keep in touch.